Hello everybody, welcome to a tutorial by me, Julian Rogers. Today we are going to be learning how to create the Skrillex logo. So, the first thing, we're just going to look at the finished product, see what's going to have in it. So we're going to have a backdrop, which is the wall behind. If you want to change the colors or anything to that, you can do that after you finish. But we're just going to have a white background for now. What we're going to be having is for the back frame thing, we're gonna have two glossies with a mix shader. So you're gonna learn how to use that. It's very handy, and it makes a lot cooler shaders. And then we're gonna have just a diffuse for the L's and just make it completely red. Alright, and then we're just gonna have some lamps over here shining some light on it, because we're going to have a completely black background. Alright, so let's get started. Open up a new folder, or blend file. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to delete this, turn this to cycles, so we can just start off on that. Alright, let's pull this out. I hate it so small. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to open up. First I'm going to start the screencast. Alright, we're going to put on the background images and add an image. Now where I'm going is I just have a tutorial, and we're just going to have, and you can see this is another one. First we're going to use this one because it's an orthographic view of Skrillex. So we're just going to delete the default cube and add a plane in. Rotate it, shrink it a little bit. So, first you're gonna set it to be right about there. So we're gonna pull that, and actually we're just gonna pull that over there to the end, and then I'm going to extrude it up to here and here. You want to go press Z to make it back into wireframe, so then you can see like where it is easier. So you just pull that to there and pull that to there. Alright, so that's starting out. So then we just pull this to here. You're technically just pulling them each vertex to each edge, and then just going to extrude that. Oh, dang it. Select both of them and extrude. Right there. I'm just going to pull that one way down. Actually, you're just going to... Also, okay, so then we're going to go to Vertex Mode, and you can either click the magnet button, and whatever you do, it'll snap to it, or what I like to do is turn it off, but you like grab it and then press Control, and then it just pulls it to whichever one. If you don't press Control, it won't do that, so Control, and then right here you can just remove doubles. Oh dang, remove doubles, and then there you go. So then we're gonna go like that and that. Small on the Z, 0, just to make it completely flat, and then we are going to extrude right on down and just pull that there. So there's our first S. Alright, we're gonna still be in edit mode, so this can be one object. Add a plane, Vertex 90, grab, and we are going to have it right there. Alright, so then this is just gonna be kind of long a little bit. We're just gonna have to do this for all of them. So then extrude that down. We're gonna pull that to there. And then we're just gonna extrude it down. Bring this down. I'm gonna take those, extrude it up. Actually, we're just gonna extrude it right to there. and then extrude it again, and then extrude it again. Just gonna pull that one right there. Pull this one right there. And if you're like, you want to get this one over here, but it keeps like moving away from it, you just right click on it and press period on the number pad, and it'll move like straight to it. So then if you want right there, there, and then it is the exact middle point of your viewport. So then just grab that, just kind of making it more detailed. Exactly, like perfect. Alright, and we're gonna start with the plane, because if we scale it in, but it's a plane, or it's a cube, then it'll be like all weird. So yeah, just doing that. And then we scale that in. And the R is the hardest one because there's so many random things everywhere, so we're just gonna start right at the corner. No, wait. And we're gonna do that. Extrude down to there. Pull this one here. Extrude again. If you want to, you can just extrude this one right here. And let's take this one, grab to there. Doubles. And what I like to do is add a shortcut, and I just press Q because it doesn't have really anything else to do. There's Q, so then right there, and then pull this down to here, this vertex, and let's just extrude this right down there. And you can also tell like if it's good or not, because then you'll see like the pixels aren't exactly matching up. See, like kind of going down. So if you just do that, and hold down Shift, it'll pull it slightly. They can just match them up. Alright, so then we go here, extrude this out to there, and then extrude out again, and then you can pull this one up and pull it down. Now we're gonna go, oops, grab that. Okay, pull it to there. I'm gonna grab this one and pull it down a little bit. Right there, there, and there. And then we're gonna pull down right there. And you've got your R. And it's looking okay. Now we're just going to do the E and the X because the ILL are different objects, I mean different materials. You could make the same thing and then just assign them to different materials, but I find it's easier just to make it a different object. And then we extrude out. Extrude this out, down, pull this to here. Extrude it right down there. This is almost over. You guys almost made it. Just kidding, still got an X to do, and an ILL. But the ILL is going to be very easy, so that should be pretty fun. There, pull right to there, pull that one to that one. Extrude. Alright, so there's that. And then one more plane. This one's kind of easy, so you just grab it and you fit it like right to there. And what you do is you rotate 45 degrees. And just go like that. And then you pull this to here. Pull this to there. Pull that right there. And then that one's good. So I'm just going to go extrude up. Just rotate it a bit. And scale it in. And then I'm just going to do that to all these. Rotate just a little. And extrude that down to there. And then we just get to pull this one. And if you want to, I think it might work. If you go to normal, no, it doesn't work. But you can mess around with these ones in global, local, gimbal, normal, view, and sometimes they'll make it so you can just drag this thing to pull it down. But apparently the normals aren't facing the right way, so I'm just gonna grab that and pull it down there. And then extrude that down. Pull that to there, it looks a little off. Alright, so there's our Skrillex. And then we just add that into here to SKREX. Oh, not KREX. Alright, I knew that. Just preview it. So we're not gonna do anything with that yet. Now that we're in not edit mode, we're in object mode now. We're gonna add another plane. And then we're just gonna scale down. Pull that to the bottom. Alright, and then we can just pull this up. This is really fun. Well, not fun, it's easy. It's more fun than the other ones. Alright, that to there. Now that this is going to be one, you just edit mode, Control D, rotate 180, no, not Z, just rotate 180 degrees. Grab that to there. Looks like they need to be pulled down just a little bit. These two, just drag them down. And then just click L to link them all together. Click A, you'll just get all this stuff. So just L, Control D, same thing. That seems a little bit weirder, I guess. So there's your ellipse, which Alright, now we can do the fun part. We get to go here and then extrude just a little bit right there. Actually, what we're gonna do, oh yeah, you might want to save it. Sorry. So save as tutorial. Really, not skilly, whatever, I don't care. Save it, and you're gonna want to save frequently because that's always a good idea. So then we're just gonna go like this, make it unextruded. We're gonna go here, extrude 1, actually just extrude 0.5, I think that's a little bit too big. So just mess around. If it depends if you want it, just like 0.2, like that one might be a little too small. 0.3 should probably be good. Depends if you want it like really big. And then, yep, and then you can add a bevel right here. And then you just make that, I think it was like 0.25. Yeah, 0.25, and the resolution, or segments, is going to be 5. You can make it higher if you want. I think that's good. And then you can smooth, make it a smooth. Oh, didn't select it. Smooth it out and click edge split if you need to. Shouldn't make much of a difference, but it's always good to have it. And this one, just gonna have the exact same thing. Bevel 0.25, 5, smooth, and edge split. Alright, so now that we have that, we're getting pretty far. Good job, guys. Alright. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to another layer. Control C is to put the, if you accidentally click somewhere else, just like Control C and it brings it back. Alright, so we're going to make that one not seeable. Add an image. And then we're going to go here. This one, I didn't use this one at first because the letters are more perspective and it messes them up a little bit. So we're just going to add this back. It's called backdrop. Just going to add a plane. Rotate it 45 degrees. Scale it up to about there. We're just kind of making this approximate. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then pull that to there. Actually, just a little bit less. Now what we're going to do is we are going to make this a little bit more opacity higher. Nah, never mind. 0.6 probably be good. But then we can add this and then go bring it here. Where is, oh, I had to click Control T. Bring it there. Bring it there. And there. This is just going to be like the outline for it. Nothing really happens there until we actually extrude it. So then, there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Actually, let's just extrude it right now so I don't get confused. I just manually select them all. So this one is just going to be all of those. We're just going to extrude it out just a little bit. Might have been too much. Nah, it's fine. Okay. Nah, no, it's not. Just pull back a little bit. And then we have another one right there. There. Right there. And keep clicking Control T, I'm so done. Right there. Now we can select these. And then extrude that out a little bit more than the first one. And then one more right here. No, right there. This is going to be a little cool tip part. Just kidding. Okay, and then we could pull these out. There. That's just that part. We're going to do that. Scale it in. And then grab that. And that. This. And fill it in. So now we've got something like that. So we're just going to name this one Backdrop. We're going to have to assign new parts to it. So we can go actually Z, wireframe mode. Add that. So that one first is gonna be outer ring, because it's the outer ring of this thingy. You can assign that if you want to make sure that it assigned. You can either select and then it'll select all the parts that it's assigned to. If you really don't believe it, just bring the viewport color and bring it down. It'll show you whatever color it is. It's like 0.8, 0.8, 0.8. Alright. So then we're going to go here and get all this. This one is This one is the inner ring. Assign that one. And then everything else is just going to be the backdrop. So then we have, yay. And then it looks all weird, so you gotta pull it back just a little bit. And if you want it more actually like sharp, you can just take away the bevel. Now, the edge split might need to stay there. Yeah, if you want it just like that, that might be good too. But I like to keep the bevel on there. Maybe not make it so big though. Maybe like a 0.15. Whoa, didn't do anything. Oh, it's gotta be above that. Alright, so there we have it. So then that is the modeling part, besides the plane that goes behind it all, just to add some more shading. Alright, like that. I think that's good. And then this is just background. I'm just gonna make that this completely white. Okay, so now, since we've done all that, we can first position the camera. Control F to fly, and then scroll to like, you know, zoom in, zoom out, fly forward, fly backward. I'm afraid. And there's RR to rotate it, wherever you want. I think that should be good. Alright. That looks good enough. If you want to make it more like dramatic, you can go like this, be like, I'm looking down at you. Alright, so save, and then, oh yeah, we need to add some lamps. Let's add some of those. So then, there's our first lamp. Just gonna name it lamp. I should use the first material. Yeah. Okay, emission. We need to make that like 5. And then Shift D, rotate Z. Hey, that rhymed. Make it a little bit bigger. Make this a little smaller. Alright, now that we've saved that, we can go to render. Oh yeah, and also if you want to take this, the sampling, if it gets, because it gets to 10 then it stops. I like to make the preview, just type in 0. It won't actually do 0, it'll just be like infinite, so then it'll just keep sampling no matter what. And then the render, let's make that 60 for now. Alright, so there we have our Skrillex logo. Skrillex. So then, now we're going to go to the shading, or the materials. Alright, so the first one that I made was first in Blender render. I had made this thing. I actually put like a really cool backdrop looking color thing I found on Google. If you want to do that, that's fine. Yeah, it'll make it look a little bit cooler, but this is in Blender render. But then the other one that I made was the most recent one. It was in Cycles. Looks a little bit better. This is what we're going to be making. You can always change the lighting if you don't like the darkness right here, or, you know, just whatever. So then, yep, so we're making Cycles. If you want to make a Blender, then you won't use nodes, because in Cycles what you're doing is you're just using nodes to create the material. But in Blender render, you're just not using nodes, you're just using all this stuff to make it. So yeah, you're just gonna go back to cycles, use nodes. Alright, so first let's split the view, 3D view, make this rendered. You always want to save no matter what you do, because it's really bad when you don't save and all of your stuff is lost. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Okay, so first what we're going to be doing the Skrillex word. So we're going to delete this. We're going to Shift A, add a shader. We're going to add a glossy. G to grab. Whenever you grab it with this, it takes a little bit longer for it to actually register that you're grabbing it if you're just holding down left button. So just press grab and it automatically grabs for you. So then there, and we're just going to Shift D, duplicate that, add a mix shader way down there, and then we're just going to put both those into the shader nodes, and then add that to the surface. So now you can tell it's kind of cool looking. Make that 0, make that 0. Actually, so let's see, this one is going to be 0.03, tab 0.03, tab 0.03, and this one is going to be 0.025, tab 0.025, tab 0.025, just to give it that like glossy, cool looking thing. You can change the roughness of this a little bit higher, and then so here's perspective. So let's see, looks pretty nice. Does it not? So yeah, you can see the glossiness. I'm gonna have to move that back a little bit, it's cutting off. But yeah, you can just kind of tell. It has that like black metallic look. I like that look, it's pretty cool. So like that, maybe you can add the roughness to this a little bit. What it does is it just kind of makes it more like frosted glass. It's kind of like, you know, it's different, more misty kind of. Alright, so then, and actually this, the backdrop, this whole thing is actually just going to be the exact same thing. So actually, instead of that, we can just go to that. So yeah, alright, that looks good. So then, the outer ring. Actually, no, I'm getting off topic. Okay, let's do the ILL first. So this is just going to be a diffuse. Color is going to be 100. It's going to be completely red. Alright, so it's coming together. Pretty nice. So let's see now this. Okay, the outer ring is going to have an anisotropic shader. Those are pretty cool. Let's grab that and slide that back up here. Add that to the surface. The roughness is going to be like 0.15. Anisotropic can be like 0.6. And the rotation is 0.2. Gives it a pretty cool looking thing. Let's let that sit for a little bit. Alright, so that's that. And then the inner ring is going to be actually the same thing. So just add a anisotropic. Pull it up there. Except it's going to be a little bit less. We're going to make that like 0.1. Make that 0.0. No, just 0.1. No. Alright. That's pretty good. If I do say so myself. You can actually make this a little bit brighter if you want, like a little bit lighter so you can kind of tell what it is. It gives it more of a gray color, but you know, whatever works for you if you like it. You can also change the colors of the outer and inner ring if you want it not anisotropic. What's really cool about this these like mix nodes and everything, mix shader, is that you can actually make as many of those as you want. I mean, you make like 10 of those and then have tons of different other shaders like glossy, there's transparent, glossy, glass, diffuse, all this other stuff. Oh yeah, subsurface scattering only works with CPU. I think someone said that on Blender Nation before. But yeah, it's all these different things. You should add them all in. Makes like really cool looking materials. And there you go. It's coming together. Looks pretty good. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.